Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day today. So let's just get right into the topic. Lee has actually weakened a little bit. Um it's currently a category 4. We can see that it kind of lost that eye. Right here it probably will come back. I don't doubt it, but I wouldn't say it's 100%. So you can see that area is still right there with some strong rotation. The storm's currently moving like 20 miles per hour. Last update I saw, it's moving quite fast. Oh boy, this again. Alright, so you can see the Atlantic Basin. We have Hurricane Lee. Let's see. Katia is somewhere. It's probably like right here. We have this non-developed system. We actually have this cold front and some heavier rain going through New Orleans. Over by Central America, you will see showers and thunderstorms in heavier areas. Cuba, you've been seeing some pretty heavy plumes. Jamaica, you're seeing some pretty heavy rain. Dominican Republic, you're seeing plumes. As these feeder bands are kind of starting to move in the border islands, you're going to see some more rain. There's some scattered showers and thunderstorms due to this storm's moisture, which will create some showers and thunderstorms left over as the storm continues to move by. It's getting quite close to the Virgin Islands, but it will not be making a direct impact, which is a very good thing. Over by the coast of Africa, we can see towards the central area of Africa, we can see that there is this strong tropical wave of big blobs of activity coming through. We also have this other system that looks like it has a weak rotation. I think it might just dissipate, or it could be a potential system. We're not sure yet. I think this big blob that I will be making an arrow to could potentially be another system that's very far out from now, so we're not sure. So as we continue through time here, that's just what we can see. I think this is updated. Well, there's basically no chance of this storm that's actually going to be doing any tropical winds, any tropical impacts. They're going to be staying off the shore, but you might see a little bit more breezy conditions. This is just not updated. So as we go over towards here, you can see that Lee is now a major hurricane 4. It's still a major hurricane and it's strong, so it's not really that big of a difference. I mean, it is. It has weakened a decent amount. We have the tropical storm Margaret, and then I think this is actually Katia. I don't think it is. I think Katia just kind of dissipated. You can see that we do have some tropical waves moving through, which we will keep an eye on. But I think relatively they're not going to do much for what we've seen so far. Then we have Ova, and it's now a category 1, so it is weakening quite fast. No threat to land when it was a major hurricane, and it will not be a threat to land. By Tuesday, 2 p.m., it's going to be a remnant low. So it's just going to drift off and kind of not really do anything. There is some cold fronts that are kind of impacting Florida right now. Nothing that I'm very concerned about. Today's just a pretty quiet day with information. It's pretty quiet, just waiting and seeing. As we look, we can see on Weather Nerds, it's a little bit more briefly what this system really looks like. You can see that there still is lightning around the eye, which shows that it is still kind of intensifying, at least holding its ground. There's still a lot of lightning around its core towards the inner part of the system. There's still lightning over there, still gusty winds, very gusty winds, and it's still a very strong storm. these cloud tops by the eye are very high, so they are still very strong. Good thing it's not making land impact into really anything. That's very good thing. But you can see on the True Color satellite that there is a lot of lightning towards the center. So there's that. This is the Caribbean. You can see it a little bit more clearly. We have this area of higher rainfall amounts that will not do anything. It's already dissipating. And then like Dominican Republic and Central America, as you can see, there's some higher areas of wind. The Virgin Islands, they're seeing some showers and thunderstorms. The border islands are the areas of the border islands are really seeing some feet outer bands. Not really anything concerning because it's just some areas of moisture. Jamaica are seeing some showers and thunderstorms. Pretty quiet today, I would say, because it hasn't really been intensifying. It's been weakening, which is a good thing. As we go through time here, though, there is this consistent model where it's showing that there is this system. So right as you can see, this is Lee. It's really starting to show this area where it's just gonna go north. There hasn't really been enough models to say that it's gonna really make impacts on the Bahamas, if not the East Coast or Cuba. So as we roll out time, we see that there's this other storm that's not really going straight up. It's kind of just continuously riding towards the Bahamas. We're not sure where it could go next. That actually could be doing some. This is Fantasyland, so it's quite far out, but it is possible that this could be a real system. What we're tracking here is one of the tropical waves that we were actually looking at over in Africa. I would assume that that is the one in Central Africa. So we'll watch that closely. It is a pretty strong system. So it's really just see if it actually makes landfall around these areas or if it just drifts out. Because there's a high pressure system and there really isn't a low pressure system that's kind of moving through and saving these areas. So we need to keep an eye on this, but a lot of things are going to change because that's 384 hours from now. That's very far. Let's just make sure this is updated. Yes, it is. So we can see that this is Hurricane Lee. These are some tropical waves, and that is another tropical wave towards the Central Africa. This is Margaret, and this is another tropical wave that doesn't seem doesn't seem like it's really going to become into anything, but we'll just keep an eye on it. I mean, it has a bit of a rotation, but it's really not anything. So you go through this, you can see that the storm itself, Lee, is moving quite fast. It's a 20-mile-per-hour storm, so that's pretty fast. This area would be the area to keep an eye out for because it's kind of going through that track, and it could actually be going to the Caribbean, or the other storm behind it could be going to the Caribbean. It's hard to say, but it is possible. We don't really need to go through that. So this is Lee. This is the forecast. You can see that this was a while ago, but it's basically the same thing. Basically, it's a 4, and it's gonna weaken down to a 3, but that's still pretty strong. I mean, it's a major hurricane, so it's very strong. So you can see that it's gonna stay as a 4 for a while. The forecast model is saying that, but it could weaken down maybe tomorrow down to a 3. It is possible. I'm not doubting it, but I'm also not believing it. I would say that it's a 65% chance that it will stay with its intensity, but you really never know. This is just a little bit of a clear image of what it actually looks like. As you can see, this is kind of where it is right now, Friday. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then we can actually update this. So as you can see, the storm kind of pulls itself together, but then it kind of just weakens. That eye was a lot bigger before than after. So that shows that it is starting to weaken by starting now, and it will continuously weaken. So this is going to be the update of how the hurricane's doing. Wind speed 150 miles per hour. That's still very high and strong. Wind gusts 184, so that's very strong. Pressure's 942 millibars. Ground speed is 13 miles per hour. Course is west-northwest 300 degrees. So that's that. And then we're just gonna go through this other topic real quick, then we're gonna wrap up the video because there isn't too much to talk about. So, okay, so as you can see in Florida, we have some special weather statements out right around here. These are gonna be here for a little while. We have some areas with even higher areas of stronger areas of rain. So there's just going to be a lot of potential severe weather in Palm Bay all the way down to like South Bay. So that's going to move through and it's going to probably start to weaken. Then we have this other area that's starting to move south. If we actually check that, yes, it's starting to move south. And it's kind of following this kind of track. So Northport, Sarasota, Bradenton, Cape Coral, you could see some rain in the next few hours. So if we actually see, so we're just gonna put this area of rain, and we can just go all the way down to Cape Coral. Then this is the track. Bradenton, Sarasota, Northport, and Cape Coral would be the areas that this would be arrival time. It's probably moving around 30 miles per hour. So you can see that like Bradenton Beach is going to be here 147 minutes. So that's still quite a long time. So you can see that most of the areas are like 100 all the way up to like 284 minutes. Which that's a long time from now, but this is going to change. And I mean, it's probably not going to go to that cast immediately. So if we actually check to see how big this is around 7.61 miles of where the strongest part of this area is. And if we actually see where the area of more stronger areas would be right around here, then we can actually make that even more clear and see that that's 1.22 miles, which is going to weaken. So yeah, that's that. So if we actually take a look at this, we can actually see 3D model. If we check 3D model, you can see that the areas that have even stronger conditions would be right here. And some of the clouds around it could really see some heavy rain. And hail, I don't think so. But it could happen. And I don't doubt it because these clouds are really starting to get higher. I watched this thing from like just starting to be purple all the way now to blue. So that's gonna have a major effect on how strong this area is going to become. We're also seeing another area starting to build even higher clouds. This now is like a low purple, so I wouldn't really see a difference here, but definitely you can see that there are some areas that are going to have a lot more heavy areas. So this area just has a lot of heavy rain. So you really never know about that, but there is some special weather statements going on, and this could cause like maybe 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. Tree branches can fall down, and you never know, this could become a severe thunderstorm warning. I will keep an eye on that. As we go through time, we can actually see here how big the storm really is for the main areas. You can see that that's about, doesn't even say. Wait, actually yes it does. Then we just drag across where the main areas are going to be affected, 51 miles. So that's pretty, well, like 52 miles, but I'm going to draw the area where the stronger parts of this part of the storm would be. Fairfoot Bay, Palm Bay. These areas are going to see some more heavy rains. Some areas will have some lighter rain, but that will kick up into some stronger rain. We can actually see where this is going, and we can make an estimate on how. Alright, so these areas that actually have lighter rain, you're going to start to experience more heavy rain. There are some smaller patches of heavy rain, but you will start to see some more heavy rain in your area soon. So if we actually take a look here, we can make a thing that goes towards out to sea, and we can make a guess, and let's say it's 40 miles per hour. So it's gonna really start to go off the coast, maybe at the most 90 minutes. Coca-Cola Beach, so you can just see where the impact times would be. I'll let you, Tropical Park, all those areas. Satellite Beach, so you can really see that Cityport, Palm Shores, all these areas could start to see some showers and thunderstorms in a little while. Deer Park, we're going to see it in 45 minutes if this storm moves 40 miles per hour. Another good guess could be like 30 miles per hour. So that just brings it up by like 10 minutes. So you can see that it would be a little bit longer. The population that we can see through this whole area would be 236,000 people. So we can see that the fastest I think this would go is maybe 50 miles per hour. So we can actually take a look at that. I would assume that it would be 10 minutes more early. Yeah, so around like 10 minutes more early, we would see these areas be getting impacted. So all of these things are potential, and they can happen. So I'm gonna keep those updated. So we can definitely see that there are areas right here. I will circle that for you. The main area, I'm gonna kind of cut it in half, like these, where I'm gonna put an arrow to the areas that would form. I think this rain band is gonna start to build right out here. I wouldn't really say rain band, but you know, it's gonna start to build rain with my guess. I think Fort Lauderdale is going to maybe start to see some rain depending on how the storm starts to move. I can see, yeah, it's starting to make that kick where it's gonna start to move this way. So I'm gonna say that it's gonna go 40 miles per hour. Let's just go with 45 to make things even here. The strongest part that we're seeing all the way down to Fort Lauderdale and its beach, let's go 45. So Southwest Ranches 44 minutes, Sunrise 45 minutes, Coral Springs 47 minutes, Cooper City 50 minutes, North Lauderdale 50 minutes, Plantation Gardens 51 minutes. Let's see. You can really see that it's Coconut Creek Park 53 minutes, Eastgate Park 53 minutes. So Rock Island Village 54 minutes. So Collier Park, it's quite aligned because these areas aren't too far from each other. But you're gonna start to see Harbor Heights. You're gonna see this in 61 minutes if it continues this track at 45 miles per hour. So that's that. You can also check this storm. It's a little bit smaller, but you can see that I'm starting to see that it's kind of also following that track, but it also seems a little bit slower. So I'm going to put this at like 35 miles per hour. So we're going to make an estimate that it's going to kind of go to Hollywood. We're going to say 35. So Trail Town, you're going to see this in 13 minutes. Trail Center, you're going to see this in 25 minutes. Sweetwater, 78 minutes. You get that. Weston, 84 minutes. So the majority of areas are going to be 80 through 100 minutes. 80 through 100 minutes is where the most areas are going to start to see this. That's like an hour and a half from now. So if this area continues to build, which it could actually see right here how these clouds start to form up. So as we continue through time, we can see that there's a lot of these clouds starting to build up. So areas that had a lot smaller clouds are now becoming a lot higher clouds. There's going to be clouds that come around here that are going to wrap around it, which are going to start to put more plumes of activity, which is going to cause the storm to get bigger. What we're seeing here, I think this area that has the areas that have like this purple and a bit of pink are going to start to expand, and these areas right here with darker green are probably going to start to get yellow. I think it's going to fill these gaps of just clouds. I think these gaps are going to be filled, and that's going to define this storm a little bit stronger. And I think it's going to play a role with also this storm, the edge of it right here, and these could collide, and it would just build it a little bit stronger. But probably you're going to start to see some rain 80 to 100 minutes from now with this storm. So definitely, if you have some rain that you start to see, that would be the cause. I think Englewood, Northport, Port Charlotte, Venice, Siesta Key, Sarasota, and Bradenton will eventually start to see some rain. I think with this branch of rain that's going to expand out, I would probably take a guess that it will. We can also check the 3D radar here and see how these clouds build and how the storm itself has started to develop. I can actually see that these clouds are starting to go down, but some of these areas right over here are starting to build a little bit, and some of these areas are starting to build. So some of the stuff that's weaker are starting to build a little bit, but I think the main area that has the strongest rain is actually weakening, or it did weaken, and it might start to weaken. But there are still some areas that actually have some better areas of higher rain. So if this area that has orange right here actually continues, it could spread out to some areas that are a little bit higher, and those could start to get it. And if the storm actually gets what it needs, that will continue with the lower areas, and if that continues, it will just keep building and keep building. So we'll keep an eye on that. There is some stronger areas, like right here, and some of those areas. So I'll keep you updated with that. So I think that it's relatively dry for Tampa, Clearwater, Palm Bay, Bradenton, Longboat Key, Sarasota, Venice, Northport, Punta Gorda, Englewood, Cape Coral. It's going to be Fort Myers Beach. It's pretty quiet in the area that I'm going to start to circle, but I think maybe towards the overnight hours you might start to see some rain. I'm not sure, but we'll keep an eye, and I'll keep you updated, or I might not. I'll keep an eye on it. So if you start to see some rain, make sure to check on your local news to see if any of these showers and thunderstorms are going to continue with these ways. I'd keep an eye on this storm. This is probably going to be the storm that's going to bring rain to these areas of Cape Coral and Palm Harbor. And yeah, I'll keep you updated. Make sure to stay weather ready for any upcoming events. I'll keep you updated with Lee and tropical waves that are coming off the coast of Africa, Florida weather. There will be some updates with that too. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. Stay weather ready. Bye.